Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So, we've got these 4 combines stuck down here in this big field down here, quite close to, I think it's Mary's farm. We've got field 9 and 10. If I just quickly bring the map there, you can see flashing down in the very bottom left-hand corner. Not far from Mary's farm, actually. So yeah, we've got these combines here, and that's fine and all, that's not going to be an issue, but we did have balers on the back of the combines. I've sold the balers, and 2 of them have left behind a couple of bales. Now, I wasn't actually planning to do anything with these, but obviously these bales are going to be in the way. We can't do anything, we can't leave them here like this. So, I don't think we actually need to worry about them too much. All we need to do is cut them open. So I'm just going to move them back from the combines a little bit, and then we can cut both of them open. And I'm going to zoom up a little bit. So if we go... I can't actually remember how we're supposed to open them. What number is it? Oh, it's N. Open and fade the bale. There we go. So there's one bale opened and faded. And then you do the same again. You just press N on the bale and it opens it. We've got one more bale over here that we can open up. And that's done. Right, so those are taken care of. Then when we come and drill the field, we... don't need to worry about that. But what we do need to worry about is that these combines are now going to be in the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them, and I will show you what I've been doing. We'll move these in a bit. We're not going to move them just yet. We will move those because we've also got to move the seed drills which are there. And we're going to move everything, I think, into the cattle fields just so that they're out the way and they're not going to cause any problems. You can see that I've been quite busy with ploughing because I've actually ploughed over most of the fields now. And if I go over to here, that's what I have ploughed up. I made some alterations to the plough that I was playing around with last time, and it's now working much, much better. I'm very pleased with the results that I've been getting from it, and so I've been just going around and ploughing everything up. Yeah, we'll come back to the sugar beet a little bit later. I don't know if it'll be this episode, it might be next episode. I did say that I would try to get most of the ploughing done. I've done most of it. There is still a little bit left to do, and I would like to just carry on doing that today, just for a little bit to start with. And then once this is finished, we can then carry on and we'll start doing the planting. So we're going to use this one, and you can see what I've done is I've corrected it and put it out to the right side of where it's supposed to go on the tractor and on the plough as well. Instead of being both sides, it's now out one side like I need it to be so that we can sort of easily work our way around each section of field. And it's ploughing up quite nicely. It's a good distance in. It's not so far that it becomes, like, completely ridiculous. I mean, I know I'm talking about here quite possibly a 200-metre wide plough, and I'm ploughing at... Oh, I'm actually in kilometres. No, this is not the way to be. We need to go back over to here, and we need to go to dollars, and we want to be in miles. There we go, that's much better. So, we are ploughing at... What were we ploughing at? 50 to 60 miles an hour. Should be going faster than that. I think we were doing 70 miles an hour when I stopped. So it's ploughing at 70 miles an hour. I'm still actually classing that as not completely ridiculous. So you do sort of... You have to give the term ridiculous a little bit of artistic license in this series, because that's kind of the point of it, is we are doing things that are not exactly bog standard. You certainly wouldn't class them as standard operations. So we will keep going. And I'm actually ploughing up all of the fields just because it's a little bit easier, and it's sort of gathering up all of the little bits that we don't want ploughed, or that we do want ploughed anyway. So it's not going to affect it, and it's certainly not taking very much longer. It's nice and quick with this plough. I can scoot through the land in no time at all, so let's just come around there. You do have to be careful when you're going through sort of a narrow point that you don't accidentally go the other side of areas that you've marked out, but I haven't actually made a mistake like that yet. I did right at the beginning when I first started, but I just exited the game and came back in again, and no harm was done. So everything is coming along nicely, and I also have a drill prepared for today so that we can actually start doing our planting, and we're going to plant the entire map with barley. Now, I've expanded the width of the drill, and I have increased the speed that it will drill at, but not by a great deal. It's not going to be this fast, because I thought that would actually be quite difficult to manage and to control effectively. And I thought it'd be better if we could sort of get it to go reasonably neat and tidy, and keep fairly straight lines, which means that we'd then be able to sort of do the entire map without very much difficulty. So that's kind of the plan that we've got for that one. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is we've got that huge, great big heap of sugar beet. Now, if I go through there with a direct drill, it's probably going to delete the entire pile, and I don't really want it to do that. So I am going to have to watch that fairly carefully, and maybe we'll sort of do that bit very last or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, if we do lose the heap of sugar beet, we do have the 8.5 million litres of fertiliser on that tractor, on the small Massey Ferguson tractor in the trailer, that is ready to go. It's ready to be used, so we could use that instead. Now, hopefully, this plough is going to just get this bit of greenery, and it's not going to go up over onto the road over there. We don't want it reaching that far. That is all perfect. Excellent. I've got to be very careful there. I don't want to go too far. So let's lift that one up again, and we can come over onto the next section. I think, actually, it's not going to reach that far. I think it will sort of just come out this far and stop. So let's lower the plough down and we can soon test it out. Seems to be working all right. Now, we've got sort of, there is a bit of a gorge here, and we did sort of plough around some of it last time. I'm thinking that we don't really want to plough up that entire piece. It's going to cause problems, I think. But at the same time, we still wanted to sort of work some gorge, didn't we? So what we'll do is we will plough it up anyway, and if it is too difficult to get through with the combine, then we'll change it round and we'll back out of it, and we'll make sure that we don't actually combine that bit where we can leave a little piece. We are going to have to sort of help the combines around this and guide them quite a lot, actually, as they work their way around these mega fields that we've planted. But I think generally they're going to be alright. They're going to work through it alright. We will get a baler, and we're going to do normal sized big square bales. We're not going to do small bales. We're going to do normal sized big squares, and I'm going to increase the capacity of them quite a bit. Now, I had several people say that they'd like to see me do the baling in a single pass across the map. Just one line right down through the middle of the map that will bale up everything and gather the whole lot. So, now, some people wanted to see that with an increased bale capacity, and some people wanted to see it without any increased bale capacity whatsoever, so that we take all of that straw from the entire map, pump it all into the baler, so that we've got all these bales just literally firing out of the baler like a cannon all at once. And I'm torn between the two, I genuinely am. So I think that we probably will go for standard size bales when we do it, but it's going to have to be the very last episode that we do on this map. The very, very last one. Because it's going to, I mean, either that or we just don't save the progress for that particular one, and then we go back and we do it again with a slightly smaller bale. Not a slightly larger capacity bale, say 1 million litres or something like that, so that we don't end up with a crashed game and everything not working very well. Now, I'm being very careful here so that I don't accidentally turn too sharp and plough up the road. So if I just bring that up like that and turn the tractor around, and then we do another straight line up here so that we take this little bit out, and then there's just those little strips there that are left, and that is everything ploughed up. So let's just drop down there, go forward. Is it going to reach all of it? I don't think it's going to. Oh, it is. It's going to grab every single little bit of that, so we can just come up a little bit more. There we go. That bit's done. Now, if you look at the escape menu, we've just got this area here to do. We could go back up and we could plough up that entire field there as well, but I don't think we need to. We don't actually need to do that. Everything else is done, so it's literally just this section here now. I said last time that I couldn't find the petrol station that was here, the fuel point, and someone has pointed out that it could actually be the Amazon grasshopper, the one that I got the link for, that I was using for doing the cows a few days ago, well, a few weeks ago now. And that is, it causes some sort of bug where it puts this phantom fill point on the map, and somebody else encountered it as well. They mentioned it, and they sort of said that that's where they got it from. So that's what it is. That's why we couldn't find a refill point there. It's something to do with that Amazon mod, slight bug with it. So we needn't worry about it. It's nothing to be concerned about. And yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to use those again anyway later on. So I'm quite glad that it's not like a game-breaking bug or anything, because I really do like using those. They're absolutely perfect for what they do, and what they do is feed the cows. We do need to, obviously we've got to keep the cows fed. We do still need to feed the cows. So we are still, I know that we're doing this at like kind of crazy scale, but we do need to keep everything fed, and we still need to keep farming. We do need to actually make sure that we do the farming properly. Just because Daddy has given us $200 million in order to do our farming doesn't mean that we can't take this job seriously. So we do need to take it seriously, and we do need to carry on. You know, I asked you last week a question, not about this map, but about what you'd like me to do with a future map. Now, back at the end of FS15, the last time-lapse series that I did was called the Hard Working. It was on Hard Working 3. And that particular map was, you start off with one field, and all the rest of the land was covered with trees. And what you had to do is you had to go along and you had to fell the trees and then plough up the land, and then you could start using it. There's our other tractor and plough. We're just going to ignore that one now and plough right over it. But the glory of that map was the fact that you had to go and fell the trees first. Now, I haven't seen any map that I would consider to be a decent replacement for that one. Not yet. And there are some ideas. There is some maps that sort of, that they take the idea and they do work with it a bit, but they're not exactly the maps that I was looking for. They're not the maps that I've been hoping for. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen a decent replacement come out. So far, the best one that I've seen is the FDR logging maps. Then they've released 3 of them onto not onto the console, onto the Modhub. They've released 3 of them there, and 2 of them are, one of them is Emerald Valley, which has been out for quite a long time now. Another one is the Pacific, I think it's Pacific Logging or something like that. And then another one is a winter logging map. Now, I've got no interest in doing the winter logging map. I think it's just going to be too much of a headache. But the Pacific one in particular, that one does interest me quite a bit. And I thought it could be very interesting to actually go and try and do the whole hard-working approach again to doing our farming. The thing is, I wasn't sure what people would think of it and whether you wanted to see another hard-working type map again or not, so I put it to a vote. Did you want to see that sort of map as an unrealistic series like we're having now, so that I play around and kind of do all kinds of logging mods and stuff like that, and just have a big play around with it? Or would you like to actually see it as a time-lapse? Would you like to see me do a time-lapse of that one? I'm going to be doing Sandy Bay next. I already asked a question about Sandy Bay, and most people seem to want to see that one next, and I have been talking about it for a long time. I'm quite looking forward to that map. So that will be the next one that I do, and then after that it's looking more and more likely that I will be doing a logging map, because 2,933 people answered that question. 1,147 said they wanted to see it as an unrealistic series, and 1,786 said that they wanted to see it as a time-lapse series. So do it realistically as a time-lapse series. Now, I'm not taking that vote as it's definitely going to be a time-lapse series. I'm taking that vote as this is kind of what people want to see. Slightly more than half. Slightly more than half want to see it as a time-lapse series, and slightly less than half want to see it as an unrealistic thing. So I will try to do some... We will try to delve into forestry mods and stuff like that as part of an unrealistic series in the future, because it does seem there's quite a bit of interest in that. But for the actual turning a logging map into an arable farm, if it's suitable, if I can find a map that I enjoy enough, because I've really got to personally love the map. I've got to love the map. I've absolutely got to really want to do it for a time-lapse series to work, because of the huge, massive number of hours that I've got to put in playing that map. So I've personally got to really connect with the map and really feel that, yes, I could make this work, and I really love the idea of this. So that it is... If it's not the case at the moment, I'm kind of and ahhing, which means that it's probably not. It's not going to happen. At least not with the maps that I've seen. But with some slight improvements, or if I take another look at some of them and sort of delve a little bit deeper into the possibilities of what could be done with them, maybe I could certainly, you know, I'm much more likely to do it. Now that I know there's quite a few people that would like to see this as a series, it's much more likely to happen. So that was kind of what that series was about. Now, because of the number of people that said about they'd like to see it as an unrealistic series, I'm thinking that we will at least pay tribute to a little bit of forestry. So I don't think we're going to have time for very much of it because of the ever-approaching point of no return when we're going to leave this map. Right, that is everything ploughed up. We're not going to plough up that bit up there, so we're now done with our ploughing. Everything's finished. That is looking beautiful. So what we need to do is we need to move all of the machinery out of the way. I think we can get rid of the 2 ploughs, and we can get rid of those seed drills as well. I don't think we need those. Yes, I think we will. I think we'll get rid of the seed drills, the battle tractors, and we will buy back a battle tractor later, but we don't need it at the moment. So let's just lift that one up out of the ground. So that one is done. And we need to go to P, and we need to go to garage. So, yeah, my question for this week, before I go too much further into there, is would you like me to plant some trees on this map? I'm thinking that after we've done some harvest, and, you know, right, maybe for the last episode I could do something with the bales and not save it and come back. I don't know. We will try and sort of work something around it. Would you like me to plant some trees? Would you like me to take the tree planter here, the Damcon PL75, and plant a few trees? It won't be poplars. We'll just plant regular trees and see what we can do with it. It could be interesting. It could certainly be interesting. We have the ability to fast forward time, so we could see the trees growing. What do you think of the idea? Would you like me to grow a few trees on this map or not? Yes or no? Would you like me to start sort of delving into a little bit of forestry stuff just at the end of this series? And we can worry about more serious forestry in another series. But at this one, would you like me to plant a few pine trees? Not poplars, but ordinary pine trees. Using a few of these machines here, or a bigger one, a bigger mod if I can find one. Although so far I haven't been able to. Yes or no? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Now then, the next thing that I want to do, I want to sell that Kverneland right there. And what else do we want to get rid of now? We want to get rid of, we'll keep those 2, there's no reason to get rid of them. The 3 battle tractors can go for now, we get rid of those. Sell those 3, and we will come back to battle tractors. I've had also people asking me to mod the bicycle that not the bicycle, the bicycle, the scooter that I was using in the other time-lapse, not the time-lapse, in the other series, in the regular Gorilla series. Change the stats on the scooter and do some jumps with it in here. I like that idea. That is probably something that I am going to try to do. I will take a look at that at some point soon and see what I can do. I can't guarantee it, but I'm hoping that I will be able to make the changes needed, and so that I can keep it separate, because I've still got that mod active in Gorilla, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to have 2 separate mods so that I don't accidentally tweak the stats on the one that's in Gorilla, because if I do that, it could end up sort of being quite awkward and difficult, and that's supposed to be the realistic series. I know that we haven't exactly been realistic on it this week, but it would still be good if we could do that. Right, so there is the seed drills have been sold, and the battle tractors have been sold. We've got the combines there that we're going to go and move now. So we've got that tractor, which we're going to come back to, and then we've got this tractor over here, which we're just going to move out of the way of this field, put it over here somewhere so that it's safe. Let's just bring it round this side and park it up there. So we've got our rolling. And that one, I'd like to use this one again at some point. I'm not going to just at the moment, but maybe it'll be in another series. It might be that we use that one when we get to the next series, possibly. So first of all, we've got to move these here. So we're going to take these combines, and we're going to, you go and press F11. Warning, better if the combine is empty. Oh, it's still got 30,000 litres of wheat in there. We're not going to worry about that now. And we'll drop it up in the middle here, I think, just around this area. That seems to be okay. So we go to the next one, and the reason it is saying that it's better if it's empty is because the combine will automatically fold up when it does it. Now, I didn't actually realize that. Someone pointed that out in the comment section last week when I was trying to do the same with one of the sugar beet harvesters. They said that the reason you were getting that warning is because it will automatically try to fold itself up if you move it, and because it's trying to fold itself up, so you do have to sort of remember that it's got crops in, it's got the crops in it. So if it tries to fold up, it could cause a few issues. So that was why people will you're getting the warning, and that's what a couple of people told me actually last week, which was really useful. It was handy information to know. But our combines are now safe; they're out of the way, and the next thing that we want to do is actually, how is our cows doing? Let's just quickly check on those. I mean, they should be all right. So liquid manure is 800,000. Manure doesn't seem to have a cap on it, so that one will just keep climbing. At the moment, we're on 1.3 million litre, or 1.25 million litres, and 800,000 slurry. So the slurry always seems to have a cap on what can go into the tank, but the rest of it doesn't. This here, we do need to put more grass in for them. At the moment, they're up to 5,120. We do want to buy more cows and see if we can increase the speed that's filling up. Now, my concern here is when we bring the seed drill through, it's going to delete all of this sugar beet. And I really, really don't want it to do that. We've worked hard to put all this sugar beet here, but there's not really going to be a lot that I can do about it. I might, if it does delete it... Oh, actually, I'll tell you what we're going to need to do. Let's just move this sugar beet harvester off of the sugar beet heap. Out of the water completely and up onto the bank, so that if it does delete the sugar beet, if we do that accidentally, then we've at least got this parked up safe up here with the sugar beet in it. If it does accidentally get deleted, I think what I might do is just artificially refill the harvesters again, and then it's not going to cause any problems. So we'll do that there, I think, and I want to switch that one off. Right. Now we can go back to our standard Rolling tractor, this one right here, and we're going to transport ourselves magically right over to the dealership, and we're going to get our Vaderstad. And this particular drill, I have made a couple of alterations on it. It's there we go. It's a direct drill, so it should sow everything perfectly without any problems whatsoever, including the bits of the fields that we haven't actually ploughed up. I'm really hoping that it does that. And I'd also like to have another front weight on this tractor. So if we go through and we go to weights. Now, do we go for a standard weight? We can't use any of those. We could use that Massey Ferguson one there. I'm very tempted to go for that, but I'm also thinking that maybe we could go for this one here. This is quite a big heavyweight. That's a 2,100 kilo there. So, I mean, that there on the back, we can't really do anything with that one, but we've got the ballast here. Ballast 600. Ballast of 600 kilos. I don't know if that adds another... I'm not really sure. I think that just ends up being quite a light machine. I don't think that's anything in particular. This one, I don't think you can even put this on the front of the tractor. I mean, if you can, 3.4. Is that 3,400? I genuinely don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because we got to have the minion. We've just got to have the minion. It's the only one, really. I mean, if you think about it, there is no other option. We've got to have the minion because minions are just that cool. And if you don't think the minions are cool, obviously you're entitled to your opinion, and obviously that opinion is wrong. And there's nothing I can do to help you. So yeah, if you don't think the minions are cool, you are allowed to have that opinion, and I'm also allowed to tell you that that opinion is wrong. So that's the joy of free speech. I'm allowed to tell you that it's wrong, even if I don't like your free speech. Yeah, I'm just going to get myself into trouble now, aren't I? And let's just load that one up there. And right, for the seed drill, what we're actually going to do here is we're going to change it to barley. And I don't know why I really want barley. And a lot of people have said, yeah, okay, go for it. Go for barley. So that's what we'll do, and I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And where did I drop the... I think they're here. I think those two seed tanks are right there. So let's just jump over to here and take... Oh, yeah, there they are. So we don't have much in the way of seed tanks. We've just got the... well, I say much in the way... This one doesn't take much in the way of seed. This one takes seed and not fertilizer. There we go. Gonna fill. He's not filling up. Please tell me that it will actually fill. This could be a problem. Let's back up into there. Why aren't you filling up? Oh, it's because I don't actually have it selected, so when I press it... That's why. I was getting really worried here for a moment. I was thinking, oh, no. Please don't break. Please don't be broken. I really don't want you to be broken, but it's not broken. It was just because I had the front weight selected again. So... that's working fine. We do have the worker by seed as we drive along setting on anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. It's not going to hurt if we don't have it set just right. Now, we're going to start over on this side of the map. So we're going to drive all the way over here. We're not going to teleport this time. We're just going to drive. We're going to go straight over here and we'll park up down near the farm. Not farm, the village. Oop, there's a fence there. Yeah, this is why I don't have it going to... it's not going to be able to travel too fast because of the way that it will slide around behind us if we're going too fast. I really don't want it to do that, which is because it would end up sort of not planting correctly. It would end up causing some very strange issues as we plant. And also I didn't want it to be doing any jumps into the air either as we went along and planted, because that would also cause some issues. So if we come up through here, now I'm not exactly sure how wide it's going to go. I know the number that I've set it to, but I still don't know what the actual width that's going to end up being. So if I start about here, and I move back up, there we go, lower it down, turn on the seed drill, and it's not going to do anything at all. This is disappointing. I tested it. Why isn't it doing anything? Let's carry on up through, and I'll see if it's not doing anything at all. This isn't what I wanted. Oh dear. Right, it does appear that all of my hard work was for nothing. I made the alterations to this seed drill and it doesn't seem to want to do it. It doesn't seem to be actually registering as being on. I can't hear that the machine is turned on at all. I mean, it lifts up and it lifts down. That it does that bit fine. But when I lower it down, it doesn't do anything. Right, unfortunately, this is very disappointing to me. I made the changes on this one and it hasn't worked. So I'm going to have to sort of redo some changes on this one, and we'll come back to it next week. I just about run out of time anyway, so we'll come, not next week, tomorrow. We will come back to this one tomorrow. I will have to make some changes that actually test it properly this time, and just to make sure that it is actually working, so that we can have some actual fun with the thing. And let's just go back through here. We don't actually have a loader at the moment. Now, I'm thinking of getting a loader, and I want to go, here we go, I want to go up here, so I can take a look at this, and we can just have a little chat about this. My question for this week, before I go any further, is do you want me to do any tree planting on the map this week? Would you like me to plant up some trees, and, not this week, would you like me to plant trees on this map before the end of the series? We won't be harvesting them or doing anything else with them. We will just get some trees planted and see what it's like growing a whole load of trees, see what that does to like frame rates and stuff like that. It could be interesting. Then again, you might not think it is. So, it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but as I move around here, just where all this sugar beet is piled up, I'm actually getting a slight drop in frame rate in places, which is a little bit... I'm guessing it's because there's a huge amount of stuff that is piled up here, so it's going to sort of affect the performance of the game ever so slightly. But yeah, I'm not really happy with it here. I mean, we filled the gorge. We've done the whole filling of the gorge thing. We've had a go with that, so... I'm guessing we probably won't come back here and put more in. We could still build ramps here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where we're going to build ramps. So let's just zoom up. I'm actually thinking that over here would be better. We get a nice long run up just here. We can get a good run up through there. There's no sort of particular uneven terrain as we come up through there, and we can mark a line out and come up through to here. And here would be our ramp. We could have one ramp sort of going that way and another ramp going that way. And then what you end up with is being able to jump 2 gorges. We got this one right over here, and we can end up sort of landing in the field over there. Or we can direct our jump going this way and end up in this field over here. Or even try to do like a double jump and put one there, and then you land here and carry on and go through the next one. That could be quite interesting. So we may try to sculpt something with our sugar beet after we've done the planting. And we're going to need to fertilize it as well, aren't we? We're going to want to put a little bit of fertilizer. We've got lots of fertilizer here, so we may have a play around with that as well. But anyway, that is all I've got time for now. So if you enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give me a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And there is our ploughed up map, all ready to go. We just need a direct drill now that will actually plant everything. I will make sure I have one ready for next episode. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.